These are great companies, TCS, CTS, Infosys. All of these are great companies, and you should be proud of those achievements. If you, a lot of people do 500 lead code as a Bible, but I personally have done only till 200, and I feel that that gives you a good enough understanding. You keep trying, you keep doing what you can, and things will fall into place. College placements don't decide your career, and
Hello everyone. Today we have with us a very special guest, Vidya, and he has done a really great deal, great gig in his career. He has switched from a service-based company that is Tata Consultancy Services, and he has jumped to Amazon first. Then he, switched to Microsoft. So this session is going to be amazing because it's really difficult to jump from a service-based company to a product-based company like Amazon or Microsoft. So let's hear from Vidya about his journey in tech and starting from with his introduction. Over to you, Vidya.
uh, thanks, Kushal. I think you put it in a very nice way. Yeah, I mean, that pretty much sums it up. I did my graduation in electronics and communication, so I barely knew coding. I started coding in early 2019, and yeah, it's been a good journey.
So you were working at TCS first, and then you jumped onto like Amazon. Then you were right now you're working at Microsoft. So what was your profile in TCS? Then what was your profile in Amazon? And at what profile you're working at Microsoft?
Okay, it would be like three different spectrums. So in TCS, I was a database administrator for the most part. And in Amazon, I was an SDE one. I
Okay.
worked on Android.
Okay.
So I worked on the Android framework. And in Microsoft, it's full stack here. There is no Android and stuff here, right? So I'm a full stack developer here. So I'm an SDE2 here. And in Amazon, I was an SD1. And in TCS, I was a system engineer.
How you got these opportunities? Is it via LinkedIn or is it via some hiring challenge or anything like that?
Okay, so this was pre-COVID times. So Amazon used to have these hiring drives. Usually, when they have a lot of requirement, they usually circulate a hiring drive. So it's basically like a walk-in.
Okay.
Anyone can attend, and you just need to fill in a Google form, and
Yeah.
you'd get your invites. So it's basically
Okay.
a walk-in.
Okay.
So Amazon post that walk-in, you'd have like 4 rounds on the same day. So it's a long day.
Okay.
I remember getting in at 8 and coming out at night 9 and 10. And even after that, I had one more round. So because a lot of people appear, so it takes time for the process. And
क्या आप लोग भी जॉब देख रहे हैं और थक गए हैं वेट करते करते टेस्ट रिजल्ट्स का और इंटरव्यू कॉल्स का? तो यार मैं आपको बताऊं कि अगर विद इन अ डे आपका टेस्ट रिजल्ट जनरेट हो जाए, विद इन अ वीक आपके इंटरव्यू शेड्यूल हो जाए और विद इन अ फ्यू वीक्स आप कंपनी तक ज्वाइन कर लो, तो आप विश्वास करोगे आपको करना पड़ेगा यार। री लेवल वन अकेडमी आपके लेकर आ गए हैं बेहतरीन बेहतरीन जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ अपने प्लेटफॉर्म पे, जहाँ पे इंडिया के बड़े बड़े टेक स्टार्टअप्स हायर कर रहे हैं। 50 से ज़्यादा कंपनीज यहाँ पे हायर कर रही है, 1000 से ज़्यादा जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ इनके प्लेटफॉर्म पे है और 15 लाख तक का आपको पैकेज मिल सकता है। इंडिया के बड़े बड़े टेक स्टार्टअप्स लाइक क्रेड, अपग्रेड, रेजर पे, अर्बन कंपनी, येलो मैसेंजर और पता नहीं कौन कौन से अमेजिंग अमेजिंग स्टार्टअप्स इनके प्लेटफॉर्म से हायर करते हैं। फ्री लेवल पे हायर होने के लिए आपको ना ही कोई एक्सपीरियंस की ज़रूरत है, ना ही कोई पर्टिकुलर डिग्री की ज़रूरत है। यहाँ पे सब सिर्फ ज़रूरत है आपको स्किल्स की। अगर आप में स्किल्स हैं, आप में कैलिबर है, तो आप री लेवल का टेस्ट क्लियर कीजिए। री लेवल टेस्ट के अंदर मल्टीपल चैलेंजेस होते हैं जिन्हें आपको विद इन वन डे कंप्लीट करना रहता है। उसके बाद विद इन 24 आवर्स आपकी री लेवल स्कोर जनरेट हो जाता है, जिसके बेसिस पे आप अपनी कैंडिडेट प्रोफाइल बनाते हैं। उस कैंडिडेट प्रोफाइल के बाद आपका काम खत्म हो जाता है। कंपनीज आपकी प्रोफाइल के बेसिस पे आपको शॉर्टलिस्ट करती हैं। आपको अपनी प्रोफाइल में सब कुछ शोकेस करना होता है, अपने टेक्निकल स्किल्स, अपने एक्सपीरियंसेस, अपने प्रोजेक्ट्स, अपनी एजुकेशन, जितने भी चीज़ें आप उसमें शोकेस कर सकते हैं। आपको साथ ही साथ री लेवल के एक्सपर्ट्स आपको मेंटरशिप प्रोवाइड करते हैं ताकि आप इंटरव्यूज़ में बहुत अच्छे से परफॉर्म कर सकें। रजिस्ट्रेशन प्रोसेस बहुत ही सिंपल है और सबसे बेहतरीन बात तो ये है यार, रजिस्ट्रेशन के टाइम आपको एक फ़ीस भरनी पड़ती है जो कि 100% रिफंड हो जाती है अगर आप री लेवल के प्लेटफॉर्म से कोई जॉब करा करते हो तो। और साथ ही साथ आप 10% का डिस्काउंट पा सकते हो मेरे कूपन कोड से। आपको लिंक डिस्क्रिप्शन मिल जाएगा और कूपन कोड भी डिस्क्रिप्शन में मिल जाएगा, तो ज़रूर उसे यूज़ करें और ज़रूर प्लेटफॉर्म को चेकआउट करें। बहुत ही अमेजिंग अमेजिंग स्टार्टअप्स यहाँ से हायर कर रहे हैं।
that's how Amazon happened. And Microsoft, I pinged the manager in LinkedIn. So, and he was generous enough to put me in the loop. And after that, it was smooth. So the first switch is the hardest. So after you have a good company name on your resume, you can easily be noticed by recruiters. Not that TCS is a bad company, but it just becomes easy if you can pitch into a recruiter with a good company name. See, I worked here, worked on
Yes.
these stuff.
Switching from product-based company to a product-based company is easier than switching from a service-based company to a product-based company. So let's move on to our next question. Can you elaborate the complete hiring process that you had with Microsoft?
Okay, Microsoft as the first round would be a Codility round. It's in your, it's like an online platform, and you just need to complete two coding questions, I believe. They're pretty standard ones. And after that, I had one data structures round, one low-level design round, one high-level plus low-level design round, the next round, and finally the hiring manager round. So since it's an SD2, the more focus was on design. If it was an SD1, I assume most of it would be around data structures, algorithms, and
Mhm.
CS fundamentals. So that was the difference. And Amazon was just all data structures, algorithms, and just the basic stuff. So that
Okay.
was the main difference between these two.
Okay, okay. And can you tell us what DSA, in general, what DSA topics were covered during your technical interviews?
Till tries it's enough if you cover. I don't think advanced data structures like Fenwick or Red Black or AVL segment and those things are not required. Till try it should be enough, and DP also just a standard problems would be enough in my opinion. I know a lot of people do 500 lead code as a Bible, but I personally have done only till 200. And I feel that that gives you a good enough understanding. Lead code top 100 interview questions and lead code most like interview questions should get most people through, unless you're seeing the solution directly. So in that case, I can't guarantee success. But if you know the underlying algorithm, why it works, how it works, it should be fine to get you through.
Understood. Yeah, what resources have you used during your preparation for a switch?
Okay, the first switch to get started with coding, I started with coding in JAS. So that was a big course, and another paid courses. Don't want it to sound like I'm endorsing the brand, but Algo Expert. So these two things are good, and I've used them. I still have the subscription to Algo Expert because some of my friends use it. So yeah, it's a good platform, I would say. But it's totally fine if you want to do it on your own also without paid courses. Just takes time. Paid courses simplify a lot of things for you. So that's the only difference.
You have jumped from a service-based company to a product-based, and then from a product-based company to a product-based company. How was your experience? Which one was the difficult? And like, tell us about the complete experience that you had.
The first switch is always the difficult. Like I said, recruiters don't notice you if you're
Yeah.
from service-based companies. Once you have that first switch, then it becomes easy. I didn't have any trouble finding interviews or getting interviews once I had Amazon on my
Mhm.
resume. This is just my experience. And yeah, apart from Microsoft, I did have other offers also. So getting interviews was not the hard part.
Mhm.
Uh, but the first one was really hard because recruiters tend to avoid you, and you need to grab that one or two chances that come your way. And that was the hardest, I would say. Second switch was more, it's most on how much skilled you are.
Yes.
First switch, other factors come into play.
This is being faced by a lot of students who belong to, like, who do not belong to, the tier one, so-called tier one category. So what happens is they have to get satisfied with the placement with a lower package, I would say, that is, to service-based companies, and many of the students lose hope because of that. So what would be your advice to them? Because many students lose hope that they'll not get into any product-based company or any good company because they are now a part of TCS. Any advice for them?
See, college placements don't end your life. Okay, so it's just a turning point. If you can utilize it, utilize it. If you can't, every day is a second chance, right? Of course, it's easy for me to say because right now I'm this question, but even I was under self doubt a lot of time. So, yeah, what matters is you keep trying. You keep trying, you keep doing what you can, and things will fall into place. College placements don't decide your career, and
Exactly.
tier one colleges, yeah, I mean, like tier one students get benefits because they earned it, right? You can't, they
That's
have
right.
struggled a lot and get to where they're at. So you can't expect those benefits when we haven't earned them. So you can make it up in elsewhere in life. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Exactly.
So that should be fine. Just keep trying and
Okay. And with is it like when you or an experienced candidate, is the CG criteria being considered, or is it like neglected?
No, it's not considered as far as I know, but I do know for internships they consider. I can speak for Amazon and Microsoft because my CG wasn't great.
Okay.
It was less than 7, but it was higher than 6.5. I leave it at that. But yeah, I mean, like once you get past the 2 years experience, I don't think any companies cares. And I was from Easy, it doesn't matter anyway. So,
Okay. How was your experience in finding referrals? Like one for the first time when you thought of switching, how difficult it for you to find referrals?
it's hard only. Like even if you refer, the chances of getting an interview is kind of bleak only because it works that way only. Right now, I don't see referrals being a sure shot way of getting an interview or landing an interview.
Very true.
It helps to some extent, but it's hard. I won't lie, it's hard. So, or you have a stellar GitHub profile or exceptional computer programmer. It's hard. I can empathize with students who feel it's hard
Mhm.
to get noticed by recruiters or hiring
Yeah,
managers for the
very
first switch.
true. So
So,
finally, Vidya, any advice that you want to share with the juniors or with the students who got into some service-based company and aspire to switch?
yeah, like basically, I've also seeing a lot of posts like, it's not Fang, but I want to share this on LinkedIn. I mean, like these are great companies, TCS, CTS, Infosys. All of these are great companies, and you should be proud of those achievements. If you want to be into this place, then you'll have to study those things, make upskill yourself, and keep working hard. If you keep working hard and consistent, things will fall into place from my experience and from what I've seen with my friends also.
Yes.
If you keep doing the right things and you focus your energies on the right topics, right materials,
Mhm.
you should be getting a breakthrough. It shouldn't be a big deal, and these companies are also good. It's not
Yes.
like TCS is bad and these companies are great, something like that.
Great. Thanks, Vidya, for your time. It was a wonderful session, and I hope this particular session will give hope to all those students who aspire to be into some product-based companies and right now working in a service-based company. So, if you have any other doubts for Vidya, you can comment down below or just text him over LinkedIn. I have mentioned his LinkedIn ID in the description box. And if you have any doubts for me, you can comment down below, text me over LinkedIn or Instagram. I'll get back to you. And yeah, thanks a lot, Vidya.